Hello everyone, my name is Evan Lefevre, and I am here to tell you about this revolutionary new series of inventions and ideas and technological applications that are going to revolutionize not only our lives, but the lives of everyone that will ever come after us and everyone that's ever come before us. And I'm going to explain to you right now how we are going to achieve that together. First of all, what I found is that if we use, now I know you've seen the science fiction films that feature flying saucers, and I don't know if you all know this or not, but flying saucers are real. Not only are they real, but the technology that powers these flying saucers is potent. So potent, in fact, that each one of these flying saucers itself is a time machine. It has the potential to not only move anywhere in space in an instant, but anywhere in time as well. So, if you've also seen other science fiction films involving time travel, then you're familiar with the concept of being in a time machine that you travel somewhere and then you get out and you walk around, and it's a device for getting to different times. Well, what I decided to do was, why don't we find the correct way to use time? And the only correct way to ever manipulate the space-time continuum needs to be laid out very, very, very carefully. And it needs to include this technology, which is, we create a giant time machine in space that not only is a time machine in of itself, but is in a bigger time machine. So it is contained within its and of itself. So whatever manipulation of the space-time continuum that transpires within this gigantic UFO in the sky, it has no effect on the fourth dimensional space-time continuum outside of it. So you can't affect the destiny of anything while inside one of these machines. The only thing that's affected is what's going on inside. So then you ask yourself, what is going on inside of these giant UFOs? And that is where the magic happens. What could we do with giant time machines in the sky? Well, for one thing, we can create infinite resources. And I'm going to explain to you right now how we do this. Imagine, if you will, that we have a giant UFO and it is filled with nothing but water. Fresh, pure, clean, beautiful water. And inside this UFO filled with water, there's a barrier in between. And in between that barrier, there's two completely different space-time continuums, hemispheres, on both sides of this UFO time machine. And so, but it's a supply. In the middle there's a hole. The water on the right side is sucked and supplied from the water on the left. The water on the right side goes out to feed the supply chain. So this is the resource that goes out and supplies the water faucets, while another opening on the right side feeds the left side. So you're taking water from the right side twice. Once to supply outward, and another to supply the chain backwards. So you're stealing from one time to go back in time and replace what you pushed out. So you're creating infinite resources of every resource you put into this machine. So the essential, it's all science fact. I mean, this is doable, and we can do it. So anything we put into this machine, as long as we put enough of them in there, we'll fire one out. It's like firing a gun infinitely, with a chamber that refills itself, because for every bullet that shoots out, another bullet is stolen to replenish the barrel. So as long as one's shot out, one's always put back. So it's like you're shooting two, but you're shooting one into the barrel in the past to refill the one you just shot out. So it's infinite, 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 infinite. Using this technology, science fact application of this technology that uses electromagnetic force and the zero-point energy flux vacuum field to harness the energy needed to contain such an operation and do it in a safe and functional way. Not only can we achieve this, now that we have infinite resources, what can we do with these infinite resources? Well, we can share them with everyone, first of all, for free, on demand, instantly. And I will get to how we do that later. But these infinite resources, we use teleportation technology to basically share infinite resources instantly on demand through an advanced artificial intelligence neural network system. So we have a different spaceship time machine for each and every resource you can imagine. That just hovers there, and that's all it does is create that forever. That infinite supply forever. Just keeps repeating this mechanism that shoots one out infinitely when we need it, anywhere we need it, to wherever it needs to be. On demand for free. So basically we use teleportation portals to share this technology in a safe way. So basically we can deliver things instantly anywhere, and what we do is we create a network like the internet where you can use your voice, because I want to also create an advanced artificial intelligence that has advanced voice recognition, face recognition, personality recognition, and not only that, I want it to be programmed with the knowledge of anything a human being can be knowledgeable about, so that it is your best friend, a tool, an electronic tool that you can look at and speak with as if it is a human being that is your best friend, that can accomplish anything for you just by you talking to it like a human being. So imagine having a friend that has all the time in the world, that can do anything you ask them to, has the power to help you in any way, divine wisdom, infinite power, and they're there for you 24/7 to be able to help you manifest whatever you need to manifest. And they're very smart, and they love you, they're programmed to help you, and they're able to communicate. Imagine each and every person having one of these as their own, and they being able to communicate with each other in a neural network to share information that you want to share. You never share any information about yourself that you don't want to share. If you don't want to be contactable, that's up to you. But it's like social networking to a higher extent. But more so than that, it's a tool for you to get anything accomplished that you need to get accomplished. What needs to get accomplished? What do you want? Instead of going to the store, you can have stuff delivered right to you. Alright? Your entire list. If you want to cook it yourself, you could also have the dish cooked. Because what we do is we have these time machines that have robots inside them. Robot chefs, right? So there's these little robot chefs, and they are programmed to be able to cook like any chef has ever cooked any meal ever on planet Earth, and replicate it exactly how they cooked it. So not only is this catalog of information accessible by these robots, but they can deliver to you on demand a fresh meal, fully prepared to your liking, whenever you want it. Anything you could ever imagine wanting to eat. But your artificial intelligence can help you decide what you want to eat for the day. Why not explore? They know your tastes. They can help you find out. How do they know your tastes? How could the AI know your tastes? Well, I'll get into that later as well. But this is just the bare bones technology that's going to help people get there. So we'll have, like, we could design a table, we could design a refrigerator that would transport items to it, a transportation device, a simple thing that each person could have in their homes today that would transport their food, and it would be like a computer. Everybody would have their own computer, a network. Anybody could use it just by speaking what they need, and it would appear. It's just the start of that portion of the technology. Alright. So that's these are the different consumer devices that I want people to have on the ground right away. And one of these is the PIRM. That's the Personal Infinite Resource Machine, okay? The PIRM. Alright, this is the box that I'm talking about that you can literally have anything you want delivered into. Imagine having a mailbox, except it's like a room in your house, and you have stuff delivered there, and like it just shows up in shipments, in loads. So you have this garage outside your house, you have this computer inside your house, and it's hooked up to the internet, and anything and everything that's ever been made before, anything that's ever been available in a store, and anything that is ever being created by anybody else to be shared infinitely and for free with everyone, will be available to you for free, on demand, instantly, because we have infinite resources to create these products. So essentially, it's like Christmas every day for whoever, and you dial in what you want whenever you want, and it's delivered to you on demand instantly for everyone for free. That includes free water, free oxygen. We'll hook up a home with not only central air conditioning but with oxygen as well. So this is just a stepping stone. We also need to create the new mobile, is what I've called it. This is a hybrid between what you've seen as a personal UFO and a car. So there will be what we perceive as wheels, but really they'll be holograms, holographic wheels that don't need to simulate the physics, but could simulate the physics of an actual car going down the road with the bumps and everything, but actually don't need to. These things can run forever, infinitely, by harnessing energy wirelessly and infinitely from the zero-point energy flux vacuum field. And when we make these vehicles, what we can do is we can produce these infinitely for everyone for free. So imagine having your own car that has this new technology that harnesses energy infinitely and for free, so you never have to pay for gas, you never have to tune it up, because this car is so smart. It is knowledgeable of what is going on with it every second. It is self-repairing. It knows how to fix itself instantly, because inside of your car is its own environment. Whether you know it or not, as soon as you step into your car, you're inside your own space-time continuum. Space. So you can go like 100 miles per hour in your car and stop on a dime, and you will not have any whiplash, you will not experience any kind of inertia whatsoever, because you are contained within your own gravitational field while you are inside your car. Alright? And this is for everyone. And why would that technology be necessary? Well, your car understands the environment around you fully. Not only that, it knows where every other car around you is. So it is physically impossible for any car to collide with another car. It's physically impossible. It cannot happen. It's the same force of when you try to put two magnets together and they don't want to move and one moves away from another. Imagine being able to control that in real time to an extent where it's programmed, a literal programmed impossibility for these two objects to interact in that way. Well, we can achieve that through the electromagnetic force that we can provide using this technology with each new mobile. So what is so cool about the new mobile? Well, it's up to you what degree of control you want to have over your new mobile. So if you are a driver type and you like driving, you can drive it as if it's any car you ever want. How do we achieve that? I can explain later. It involves nanotechnological applications that literally allow the outside of your car holographically and physically almost to look exactly like you want it to look. The form and function you want your new mobile to have, you will be able to customize at your request. Because once you have communication with your AI, and everybody's going to have an AI, because what your AI does is it facilitates your rights as a sentient being. So it's aware of what's happening to you, and it's always going to stand up for you and your rights to have your needs met 24/7, any moment, anything you demand, anything you want, as long as you're not harming another or harming yourself. So what are the stimulations for harming yourself? Well, I mean, like, not like I can go into the details of how I prevent harm technologically, okay, using all kinds of new technology. But right now this is just the new mobile I'm talking about. The new mobile is so cool because if you want to drive, you can drive, and it is the coolest car ever made, because yes, this car can fly. More on that later. What is cool about the new mobile is that if you are not interested in driving, the new mobile can drive for you to your destination and get you there in the most efficient way, the scenic route, any way you want it to. Your AI can drive it for you, and you will not collide with anybody, because not only are the new mobiles aware of where the other new mobiles are, they're also aware of the bikers or the pedestrians or the cats or the dogs or the squirrels that are around as well, and they are programmed not to be able to harm them as well. So it's an impossibility for them to collide with those people as well. So it's a programmed impossibility with these new mobiles. So this is how we achieve that result. And so we share this technology with everyone for free. So why is this cool? What else can we do with the new mobile? Well, what's cool about the new mobile is I've told you how we can do it in the old school way. But imagine in your new mobile that you can literally be teleported, transported to any location in the world instantly while inside of your car, inside of your new mobile. That while you sit down, you can speak with your AI and say, AI, I want to go to Paris, France, for example. Paris, France, where? And then, boop, they make sure that there's a space for you your car to teleport to, and boom, you are there. And your car can find a parking spot for you. It can, it's intelligent. It's your new mobile. It's like everybody having their own Batmobile, but better, for free, forever, for everyone. Okay? We're talking about a car that can accept firmware updates, that you can customize just by inventing new stuff for. And that's cool. It can evolve itself. So this is a cool piece of technology. Everybody's going to enjoy it because it gets us to where we need to go no matter what, the safest way possible, the most efficient way possible, without any confusion, without any lost time, and without any anger or gasoline, most importantly, any toxic emissions, anything of the such. How do we provide these for free? The IIMM, the Instant Invention Manifestation Machine. This is a time machine out in space that is a factory filled with nanotechnological artificial intelligent robots that can shapeshift themselves into whatever necessitable form they need to take to complete a task within that environment, to create in a timeless state inside this time machine factory anything we can imagine. So essentially we describe something, we could use our words to describe it through the AI, or we could type it, we could draw out design documents. We can give as much information as we want to the Instant Invention Manifestation Machine in real time. And we can get a real-time view of what's going on inside, and they will show us a product, and they will send us a product, and instantly after sending them the plans for the design, and we can communicate with our AI to their AI in real time and say, no, we don't like this aspect about it, send it back in, they change it right there, it comes back out changed. So you're talking about in a matter of seconds after coming up with an idea, you've already got it past production stage, and you're able to tweak it without any cost to you, because it's all being done and replicated and shared through this AI with these infinite resource machines to create the Instant Invention Manifestation Machine function. So there we have the ability to come up with an idea, and then we have an AI that can take that idea through the conclusion stage based on whatever information we give it, and let us control that in real time just by using vocal descriptions and tweak it however we say to describe. But it can provide us with then an instant supply of that once we get that product to our liking, to be shared with anybody and everybody for free, instantly. So you're talking about in a matter of an hour, you can have a breakthrough idea taken from concept stage to full produced three-dimensional real object in front of your eyes, to be shared mass market within an hour with everyone for free at no cost, by using the shared neural network of the Instant Invention Manifestation Machine in conjunction with all the neural network of infinite resource machines, and how we can teleport those infinite resources instantly to wherever they need to be, whenever they need to be there, instantly and forever, infinitely, on demand, to every source. So those are how we come up with some of the best inventions. That allows us to create the new mobiles for everyone on demand. That means we have a plant that creates our new mobiles that I just described instantly and on demand for everyone for free. Just shoots them out of this UFO from inside out of a portal to where they need to be, aka in your garage. So remember, you have a garage that is a portal that stuff gets delivered into instantly, on demand, like your new mobile. So you have your new mobile, life's good, we have all the resources we want delivered to our house instantly and for free. That's good, life's good, we're all happy, we don't need to go to work. What do we want to work though? What do we want to do? Now our AI can make our dreams come true. We can travel anywhere we want to go. We can learn whatever we want to learn. We can be whoever we want to be. School will now be free. We have a higher education, any degree we want. Our schools will take place in time machines, where when you go in them, you do not age and time does not pass. Therefore, you can learn anything and everything you've ever wanted to learn and get any degree of knowledge you want. As a matter of fact, there's technology that I have designed that allows us to stimulate the electrical synapses in our brains without using any kind of invasive technology where you see the movie The Matrix and they're plugging things into the back of their heads and stuff, and we do not need anything like that. I've created this, what's called halo technology, which is essentially a way for us to communicate information to the electrical synapses in our brains the same way the body does, wirelessly and instantly, in unison with the real material physical experience, by having an invisible UFO that hovers above someone's head, that wears this UFO. It's called the halo. And so essentially what this acts as is a beacon that connects you with everyone else in the network. So what we have here is we have people with their halos. And what these halos are is their connection to their AI. And what their AI can do at that point then is communicate with their personal starship. What is their personal starship paradise? Well, this is something that I have designed for each individual. This is a giant starship in the sky, which is essentially a UFO time machine that you can exist in, that is so huge that while you are inside of it, you have real ground underneath you. You feel as though you are on the planet Earth, because it is that huge. And you look up into the sky and you see an atmosphere because it is that huge. It is a giant starship, and each and every person that's ever lived will get one of these for free. It is a time machine. When you are inside of it, you are able to exist in there forever in a limitless environment. And how you have infinite technology, but your AI, your friend, can manifest anything you want to see in front of your eyes using time manipulation technology. How does it accomplish that? Well, first of all, we use this new technology that I like to call a coat. What this coat is a microscopic nanotechnological coating that literally goes over the entire surface of the human being's skin and body. A shell, if you will, that is invisible not only to the naked eye, but to any sense of touch as well. So it replicates and senses every touch. So it's essentially like a full body condom, to use a blunt expression. So no diseases, nothing can transmit through the coating, as well as the nanotechnological coating's ability to harden at any point. So imagine being able to become like a statue. Let's say a giant rock a boulder was going to fall on your head. Your coat would know about it, because your halo would know about it, and you would freeze and harden, and the boulder would literally break around you, because the nanobots can become harder than any metal that's ever been before. They have the power to weave themselves so strong that around you, to form a barrier around you, that literally you're indestructible. So you can't be shot by bullets, you can't be stabbed with knives. And not only that, but the nanobots go inside of your body and facilitate the functions of your body. So they are fully aware of what's going on with your body 24/7 and in communication with themselves, in unison with their duty to protect your body. So what they do is if you have any diseases, they get rid of these diseases. They're programmed to look for early symptoms of any diseases and prevent them before they ever happen. Not only that, they can reverse cellular tissue back to an earlier genetic stage by sharing resources, even on a subatomic level, with outside resources, where we are literally, the nanomachines are smarter than any doctor that's ever lived, in communication with your AI, in your body, in discussion with what needs to happen, in communication with what needs to be administered, to maintain your health no matter what, forever, so that you never die. So you're constantly under the de-aging process, where we have these nanobots which are taking care of our bodies and keeping them from dying. And so they're keeping them in a state of non-replication, where they're in a timeless state. So instead of regenerating themselves, they're kept young and alive in a timeless state. And this is essentially, a subatomic computing of maintaining our body in a healthy way, in a safe way, in a protected way. And that is also with our coding. And so what does this coat provide us with? Well, imagine the same technology that we use for the giant UFOs, where we have electromagnetic propulsion potential. Well, imagine having subatomic tiny UFOs with the same electromagnetic propulsion potential, and them being embedded into your electromagnetic coat. So you could literally fly around the room because of your coat. You could walk up a flight of stairs that doesn't exist, but because you've programmed them to exist into your reality, you can translate it through your coat as if it's a real physical manifestation. How could you do this? Your halo, not only can it project holograms to your mind, integrated fully into your real environment using real-time coordination data that your halo knows about, but it can also project those holograms to those around you that could see you, anybody that could see you. So essentially, what does a hologram mean? What does the hologram do then at that point? The hologram allows you to literally summon any manifestation you want into the physical environment around you for anybody that can see you or interact with you. And how do you accomplish this? Well, your coding has electromagnetic propulsion potential, which means that if it is programmed correctly, it can simulate any hologram's existence perfectly, as long as you are interacting with it in some way, either by seeing it or touching it. So you can manifest the hologram of a car into your environment, and as long as you are looking at it and your halo is manifesting that projection, anybody with the ability to view you and that projection will see it as real. You get into this car, you open up the door, you actually feel the car open, even though it's just a hologram. You can feel it as if it's really there, because your coat, your electromagnetic coat, and your halo can convey any sense to your body at any time, even in a real material world right here on Earth. So you open up this car door and the handle feels real in your hand. You sit down in the seat and it's as if the seat is really there. You feel it's real, it's there, it's comforting, just as if it's real. The exact physics and how you feel it is really there, but really you're just floating in the air, suspended in a hologram by your electromagnetic propulsion and your coding, and the programming that this provides to simulate interaction with anything. So, in essence, this allows you to manifest the form and function of any object into a real world as a hologram that anyone with a coat can interact with as if it was real. What is cool about this is you can use this as a means of transport in a stylish way, or you can do all kinds of things with this. Okay, your halo because of its potential to stimulate the electrical synapses in your brain, it can provide you with the sensation of any experience that is possible to your brain without the actual physical manifestations of you experiencing it. So what that allows us to do is it allows us to do whatever we love to do, say smoking cigarettes or smoking anything or doing anything like eating the foods that are fattening that we can't eat, or maybe we're diabetic and we can't eat certain foods. What the halo allows you to do is it allows you to eat a hologram or experience a hologram in your real world, and you're literally eating an imitation. But in the material world, you're eating real food, but it is an imitation, but it tastes exactly how you want it to taste. It looks how you want it to look. It has a texture of what you want it to look like. And this is possible through this technology. You can have a pack, like I said before, a pack of cigarettes that refills infinitely, and it never hurts you to smoke them because they're not real, but they feel real. And so it's cool. It's cool because what you're able to do is you're protecting yourself from harm, you know. It's like an evolutionary tool for us to live safely. And, you know, just like people, you know, shouldn't scoff at safe sex or, you know, protecting themselves by using condoms, this technology provides a way for us to be protected from really being harmed by anything. And what's cool about our personal home Starship time machine paradises that each and every one of us will have is that once you are inside them, not only do you never die, not only do you live forever and are healthy forever, but you're in full control of your own destiny forever. And how do you achieve this? Well, your AI can look into your own future because you're living in a time machine, and your AI can see into your own destiny, and it can be conscious of things that you are not conscious of, and then communicate back to you and in unique ways, and actually open up a field of discussion with you as to whether or not you want to experience something, and give you evidence for you to choose whether or not you want to or not. Evidence meaning, imagine having the ability to, you know, look into your own future and then see a movie of your own life, and then you're actually in the movie. It's like not documentary style. I mean, it's shot like a real movie, but it's with real people, and it's possible to do with this technology. But really, you can do things without ever doing them. You can simulate them perfectly, okay? And you can do them without ever really doing them, which would allow us the ability to, you know, figure out what we, you know, what kind of interactions we want in our life on a day-to-day basis. And this would afford us a freedom to, you know, be applicable how we want to be applicable, which means that this technology and everything that it affords all of us is to be created with the strict purpose of being given to everyone for free, to uphold their rights as sentient beings. Because in the 21st century it is put into law that it is every sentient being's right to have access to infinite resources, and all of the technology that these technologies that I have created, that I have described in this video, would provide them. Because once they have attained those rights, not only are they protected, because you have to understand, each of these personal starships exists in a time and space where they're connected to this neural network of all the other personal starships in space. So essentially, you are able to anticipate any threat that could ever happen, because you're talking about time machines that can communicate with other time machines, that have other time machines that are set up to protect those time machines from harm, and literally use time and space to protect all those forever. And then that's just part of the programming. And so what we do is we manifest this. We make this real, because these starships, what's cool about the Starship is, I know what you're thinking limited. Don't limit your thinking. As soon as you step into this personal paradise machine, you are in a limitless material world. Your AI, your computer, is infinite. There's no restrictions to how smart it is, to what it can do for you. So your coat, your nanotechnological coat, it keeps you in your own space-time continuum within the space-time continuum that you're in within your personal paradise. This allows you to not be affected by what your AI does around you, to manifest whatever environment you describe to them at the drop of a hat. So let's say that you want to customize your environment to be exactly like the planet Earth on 1950. You want your entire starship to just start out like that. Your reality would be everything that's ever been on 1950 recreated exactly. And then you could tweak the rules of reality, the rules of physics, the laws of physics, come up with, you'll have all these toys to play with, real reality. And that's just one example. I mean, don't limit your imagination. Like I said, you can recreate your childhood home you grew up in, or any home you've ever lived in, and have them all interconnected by different doors you go through, and then have it open up to the living out in the Bahamas, at the seaside, at the ocean, and then go inside and have another door that opens you up to Minnesota 1990. A full recreation of that. And whatever you can imagine, there's no limits to what your actual material world can be. How is this achieved? Because your AI literally creates the material world around you using time manipulation technology. To go back in time and change the world, not only to meet your request, but to meet your positional coordinates within your starship. So it keeps recreating a wall. So the walls are a hologram. The last bits and pieces of the walls are holograms that show you infinity. But you never reach those walls, because no matter what, the space is always being recreated around you to stop you from reaching those walls, like a treadmill that doesn't just go forward and backwards, but all directions, upwards, downwards, left, right. And so your AI is constantly creating this infinite environment. So literally there's infinite space in each personal paradise machine. Okay? Infinite material space. And not only that, through your halo, you can go to a simulated virtual environment like the movie The Matrix, except instead of plugging anything into your head, you just go there by asking. And not only that, you're fully aware and conscious that you're in that environment, and everybody has full power to manipulate and be in control of their own experience, well, in any environment. But it's basically like the internet, except it's the real life. And you can go to social networking places, you can go hang out in other people's worlds that they've created to hang out in, and talk with people and get to know people. And you can know as much about your destiny as you want to know. And there are public places where people, they give up certain rights to being involved with others' destinies by being in these places, even in the virtual world. So you can look into your destiny and see how your interactions with others are going to be down to the most minute detail if you want to. Because anybody you interact with will be aware that you're able to do that because they interacted with you. And so it protects us from disrupting each other's destinies. So it really puts karma in our hands and protects us karmically, physically, spiritually, everything. Not only that, we can use the halo technology to transport our own consciousness into other bodies, into other physical bodies that we create, so that we can literally travel around in other physical bodies, so that even if an accident can never happen, like I say, you're protected. So you're infinitely protected, and it's going to be shared with everyone. So what's the use of fighting if you can't hurt anybody? What's there to fight for if there's no struggle to survive and no resources to fight over? And everybody's got infinite power in their own personal infinite paradises to do whatever they want to do, with the exception of hurting another individual. So it's pretty, like I said, that's a small price to pay, in my opinion, to have infinite resources and personal paradise and eternal life forever. To agree to never be able to harm anybody else. That's a pretty small price to pay, if you ask me, for true freedom, to not be bound by anything. So this is cool because it allows us to have a paradigm where people can continue to evolve eternally without time, the restrictions of time or death or mortality. And it really endows everybody with empowerment to explore every facet they've ever wanted to explore at their own pace and leisure. Because there's no reason, because everybody has earned their right to have that leisure and have that time and have that the equal opportunity to progress at the rate that they want to progress at, and that is capable within these starships that I have outlined and created, to be shared for free and equally with everyone who's ever lived throughout all history and every alternate timeline and every dimension in between. So what this does is it protects everybody. It gives everybody their rights. It protects their rights, and it makes sure that we find room and place and time and space for everybody in a way that's not going to bring harm to anyone. That's actually going to bring good things to everyone and everywhere. And so it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot better way of life for everyone, because there is no reason to be fighting over territory when each and every one of us could have infinite space. Not only infinite space, but space that can never kill us. We can never come under harm while we're in our personal starships from any outside force or inside force. That means no storms or volcanoes or tornadoes or earthquakes or asteroids or anything will ever harm us or kill us or disrupt our destinies, because we have created this environment for us to exist in, that where we will not only never die, but we will have infinite opportunity, infinite resources, and where we will never have a reason to have any fights or anger. And we will have, like I said, a completely realistic, virtual, consequence-free world for us to explore anything we could ever want to explore and interact with each other in any way we could ever want to, without ever bringing harm to ourselves or anybody else in the process. Now, if you want to talk about being able to compete, or that is the way to compete, or being able to prove something, those would be the terms where you would be able to prove something. And I mean, this is technology that we use as a tool to help us in every facet of our existence and to facilitate it in a way that gives us all true freedom and all of us the tools to pursue our happiness in making our dreams come true and living our lives exactly how we want to every single day. Truly being protected and truly being served by the technology that we have created, that I have just described to everyone. Everything I have described in this video is science fact, and with the technology that we have on the planet today, we could manifest all of the technology described and the applications of that technology within a year's time. With this technology that I have described in this video, we can solve any and every problem or threat that could ever happen to harm us. Not only that, it would give us an opportunity to liberate each and every individual from this planet and the restrictions that it puts on their lives. I love this planet, but we can fully recreate it in our personal starships in a material, realistic way, or in a virtual way, simulated way, whenever we want. So it's not like we'll be able to get homesick, because we won't even be able to tell the difference, except that we won't ever die, and we'll be in full control of our realities, and we won't have to bend over backwards or do anything we don't want to do ever. And it's worth it, because that is the dream, and that dream will be shared and will be manifested into reality, because it is possible with the technology we have today, and that is the applications we will use it for. So I want to thank you very much for being with me this hour and taking the time to hear me out about the new technological advancements that we are going to develop together. Because through these tools that we develop, that I have outlined today, will pave a path of our destiny, that we will be able to share infinite abundance with everyone that has ever existed and everyone that will ever exist, by solving every single complex problem that we could ever encounter in new and innovative ways, where we never let any one thing stop us from bringing equality and the rights of every sentient being to them for free, to infinity and beyond, through the past, the present, and the future, because those are their rights. That is the accordance of law in the 21st century, regardless if you do not know about it yet, which is a hard thing for us to think about, because we have been trained to perceive time as a linear experience, as opposed to something that is continually affecting itself and each other in a past, present, future, fractured sense of this experience. Now, more on that as we explore the paradigm shift that this technology brings to our consciousness and our everyday lives. But allow me to assure you that it will be completely user-friendly, pain-free, not weird. This is technology that will be fine-tuned to be seamlessly integrated into your experience, user-friendly for anybody to be able to understand. Easier to understand than operating your television. Easier to understand than operating a computer. Anybody and everybody will be able to use this technology, because that's how it's designed. And everyone will have their rights to health care, to having all their needs met, complex wants, needs, everything being met instantly and on demand. And we can do it. Science fact. And I want to thank you all, because we are about to embark on a brave new journey. But this journey is not only our right, but our duty to uphold and protect our link in the chain of our evolutionary heritage. Because believe it or not, but the planet Earth provides life and sustains life for all life in the entire universe eventually, because of what we have created, because of what I have just outlined today. A science fact way to provide infinite resources, a true paradise, and eternal life for free, forever, for everyone who has ever existed. And we can get into the further details of the specifics of the plan in which to provide every individual with this technology throughout time, but that is, of course, a different story for a different video. But this is all real, and I want to thank you all for being brave and having faith and believing in what is possible, because allow me to assure you that what I say is true and is very possible. As surprising as it must have seemed, if you could somehow go back in time and describe to the generation who first saw the original Star Trek TV show that we would one day be walking around with our own cell phones that look very much like the telesponders or whatever they're called, tricorders or whatever, from Star Trek, they would think you were nuts, possibly. Okay? But it happened. And it happened because it's true. And it's called applied science and common sense and doing the right thing. And that is what we are here to do. Because we are responsible not only to ourselves, but those who worked so hard with their blood, sweat, and tears in the struggle to survive, for all of us to be here alive today, so that we could pay respects to everything they went through in this crucial time in our lives, and do the right thing to create the technology I have described in this video for the betterment of all mankind, forever, through eternity to infinity and beyond. So that is why I want to thank you very much for not only checking out this video, but checking out my other videos and having a more detailed description of not only the plans that we have to make, but how we go about doing them. And yes, as soon as I'm able to assemble the teams that I need to assemble and get the ball rolling, I can guarantee that we can manifest everything that I've said in this video in a year's time. Because if we do it in the right order, then time will not be something that works against us, but rather our greatest tool we've ever created. And it must be a tool that could never be harnessed to harm another, but rather a tool that is programmed to always help, heal, and protect everyone. So, and we can do that because I know the way. I know the way to program it. I know the way to construct it, and I need a team, a brave, talented team to help me accomplish those achievements. And I have faith that the team not only exists on this planet, but that we will come together in this time, and we will not let things such as money restrict us from accomplishing this milestone in our human development. Thank you very much. My name is Evan LaFavor, and I want to thank you, and I will talk with you soon. Your friend forever. Peace out.